3 things stopping you making $1,000 on KDP. If you're struggling to make $1,000, you're probably doing 1, 2, or all 3 of these things. Okay, so I'm going to show you what they are first, so you're aware of them, and then show you some quick fixes to do in order to reach your $1,000 of KDP. My name's Jace Perry. I show people how to create KDP books that sell. If you want to learn more about that, subscribe for more. Okay, let's get started. Guys and girls, this is going to be an interesting one. What's stopping you achieving $1,000 on KDP? Now, these are my 3 top reasons. Stuff that I've done in the past, actually. Once I kicked the habit, then I started making more money. And my students that are making the money, the ones that are past 1,000, certainly have cracked this. Okay. And the good news is it's very simple to fix once you know how. So let's look at the issues first. The first thing is easy books. Stay away from the easy books. You know the number 1 culprit is color books, and then all the low content crap. Stuff like line journals, things that you know so easy that someone that doesn't know KDP whatsoever can just come on and just create. Okay? Because what happens with that? When you got so many people coming onto KDP and uploading these types of books, then the prices of these types of books goes down. It's a supply and demand thing, right? Too much supply, not enough demand at that point. All right. So logically thinking about it, it'd be very hard to make money with these types of books. Right? So stay away from the easy stuff. The saying is so true: observe the masses, do the opposite. Kind of the opposite. I mean, just observe the masses. Think they're all doing that. What can I do to add a bit more friction? I'm going ahead of myself. I'll talk about how to fix this at the end, all right? So just hang around for that. Let's just go over the problems first. Number 2 reason, one of the big reasons most people don't make $1,000 is because they do not know thy customer. You need to know thy customer. If you don't know the customer, it's going to be very hard to sell to them. Just flip it around and put yourself in the position of the customer. Think of a subject you know really well, that even better, something you were looking to buy a book on, right? When you look at purchasing that book, you're looking for specific things on that book that will make you want to buy because you know the subject. But because you know the subject, because you're the customer, there's some red flags as well. You're going to notice when people are bullshitting stuff, when a book doesn't quite feel right to the subject you know. You just know it because you're the customer. Think of it in terms now of the customer you're producing a book for. You need to show that you know them well enough to create a book that will sell to them. All right? So you need to understand that there's a living, breathing customer that is going to be buying your book. And when you're in KDP, it's actually, you lose track of this because most of the time you're working on your own. You're creating a book on your laptop or iPad. It's being uploaded to a laptop. You don't see any people. You don't get any feedback from anyone. It's going onto Amazon and then you're just hoping it's going to sell. When there's like millions of people, actual people that will see your book, or at least thousands that will see your book, and they're going to decide to buy or not. That's a person there. If you don't know them well enough to market your book to them with your title, cover, etc., A+ content description, then they're not going to be convinced enough to buy it. So number 2 there is most people do not know their customer, so they're creating books for somewhere, a bit of this customer, a bit of that customer. So you got to know exactly who's buying it and create a book for them. And number 3, 3 things stopping you to making 1,000 on KDP. This one is you're probably not testing. Okay. Just think of the customer as this guy here, or girl. This is your customer. This guy or girl or kid, they've got the money, okay? This is who you're creating a book for. But you show them one book and they don't buy it. And then most KDP sellers will move on to another customer, right, and show them one book. What we need to do is you want to think of each book as a test. Okay, most people aren't testing enough books for that customer. Right, just one. You want to really be attacking it. But we'll go into that in a sec. All right, so these are the 3 main mistakes I could think of that most KDP sellers are doing that are not reaching $1,000. All right, so how do you fix it now? Let's do a quick fix for each of these. Very, very simple. The first one is we want to add some friction to it, so it's not so easy. So we want to move away from the masses in some way or form. Now, a good way with color books, and I've seen this as well, and you'll probably see it, is there are some color books that specialize in a certain subject that make more money. The first one that springs to mind, and I've seen it several times now, I've spoken about this several times, is a pharmacology color book. Now, I think the customer for that is nurses, and it's teaching nurses how to learn about the drugs. I think there's one on showing 200 drugs, pharmacology drugs, or pharmaceutical drugs. And it's a color book. So it's a fun way of learning about drugs because you're going to be coloring in while learning. So, you know, it's activating the creative part of your brain while taking on the information. It's a fun way of learning, right? So because of that book, I'm just going to put here, try and fit everything together. So you've got a color book, and you want to add some sort of specialist knowledge, and because of that there's less people there, and as a result it's a higher price. And I believe that book's selling for like $30, $29.99. That's amazing money for a color book. It is more work, but you're going to be getting 5 times more profit, probably more. Is it 5 times more work? Maybe, but you do that work once and that color book will make you 5 times more profit every single time. So you add a bit of friction, you move away from where it's easy. Yeah, be creative, add some sort of specialist knowledge there, so less people, more chance of people buying. Don't get me wrong, color books are massive demand for color books. So if you can find a way to enter the color book niche with a bit of friction, a bit of specialist knowledge, you're in to make a lot of money. All right? It's not, I've got nothing against actual color books. I've just got something against just everyone just jumping on something because it's easy and not actually thinking through what could provide value for a specific customer. All right? Second, if you do not know thy customer, then be the customer. That's the first phase. Do you know something well enough that you could create a book for it? And is there demand? So check there is demand. Like for example, say you read the Bible, you know about the Bible. There's a massive demand for devotionals. I've seen that, the devotionals for retired women. That's a massive demand. But then say if you know something a bit less in demand, like you know about spiders, you could check if there's books on spiders, probably one selling or something, but is there a lot of sales? Is there demand? No. So you can't do your customer thing like that. So is there demand? If there's no demand, like spiders, no demand, then you cross into demand. Cross it into somewhere there is demand. Color books, there's demand. You can create a spider color book. Maybe you do one for children. Maybe you do one for adults where it's got like an information style. Okay, you can try it like that. Because say you know spiders really well, you'll be able to use your knowledge about spiders to create something that's specialist knowledge, and it's, you know, the customer, so you know what language to use, and then you've crossed it into color books where there's money, so there's more chance of making sales there, and you're creating a book that actually makes sense for the customer because you are the customer, you know the knowledge. All right, the second bit of that I'm just going to add here in another color is if you don't know, if you're not the customer, there's no demand, is something you know, you've literally got no knowledge that there is demand, you can't find a way to cross it, then find someone you know. Find someone you know. Someone that you know well enough, that knows about something, that you can create a book for, and check with them. So in this case, just say that you didn't know devotionals, you don't know about the Bible, but you know someone that does. Just see that you can get them to check your book. Now this sounds crazy. I mean, most KDP sellers won't do this, but this bit here of knowing the customer, just asking someone that knows the subject, that is the customer, can make a whole world of difference, because you can produce a book for them, and that book will sell because they know it really well, right? Okay, you're checking with that person. Now I'll go into this in great detail in my course, by the way. This is the reason my students are making money so quickly. If you want a link to the whole step-by-step course, it's very simple for beginners to understand. I'll break everything down nicely. There's a link below, okay? Right, the last one is you're not testing. Right, most sellers will just do one book, like here, and then move on to another niche. What we want to do is, once we've found a customer where there's loads of money, there's no reason to move anywhere else. Like, okay, if we know that customer, if we're getting to know that customer, and we're producing a book and it didn't sell, that just means the book wasn't good enough. What we want to do is just keep attacking that customer, not like literally attacking them with books, but keep sending books, giving them options to buy, and then one of your books will be good enough for them to buy. And you treat your books as tests. Don't treat your book as just a book that's going to make you money. A lot of the time it doesn't work like that. Okay, treat your books as tests and keep testing it on the same customer, because you'll know that customer better and better with each book, and eventually one will sell. Now, to finish on a high note, let me just say something. $1,000. It could look something like this when you're creating your book. So just say you create your book. Okay, that's the work you're putting into your book. You might put some ads in there. You've invested some ads. It doesn't work. Okay, but you followed all of my things above, so it's a decent book. It's got friction to it. It knows the customer, and you tested an angle to that customer. This could eventually just die off and just make a few sales here. Right, let's just say that this is $0, and this is the $1,000 you want. You try it out. You do some ad spend. You might lose some money on ad spend. It drops down in price, and then it makes a sale like every week or something like that. And it's not crazy, but you killed the ads now. You tried it. It didn't do so well, and it might only be making like $50 a month or something. Okay, so that's on 50. Right, next book, same thing. Next book, same thing. Next book, same thing. These are all failures that you're trying. Let's just say that you tested each one with $50, so you're $50 down, but eventually that book starts making about $50 a month or two. Now this is the great thing. It's all to the same customer. Your books are getting better, but your library of books is accumulating. All right, you've got each one now, failed books, making you $50, $20, even $20, $10, $20 a month passively every month, and this all compounds. And eventually you'll have enough of those that you'll hit your 1,000. Okay, you might not be 1,000 in profit because you might have invested time and money in each book, but eventually, because you've been doing these three things above, they're actually valuable books and they've got longevity to them. They will just keep selling, and eventually those books will make you your 1,000 plus more, and it will just keep selling. And come Christmas time, that's when you make bank with some of those books. One of them might just take off and give you all the money in one go. But this is the way to think about it. See, think about it as each book is a chance to create a mini digital asset that might be making you a little bit of money here and there. All right, but there's a silver lining to this as well. What if your fourth book here, you test it with ads, it actually starts selling really well, and it goes like that? Okay, so what I'm trying to do is get you into the mindset of doing several books and thinking of each one as a potential to create you a bit of digital asset money passively over a long enough period of time. That book can make you a lot of money over that period of time, provided you're doing these things above. Because when you do these things above, you make it like some sort of specialist knowledge. You add friction so it's not easily killed by competition. You know the customer, so it talks to them, it builds up good reviews, and you've been testing a book enough, so your book's getting better and better, that gives longevity to your books, and then you can have a whole library of books making you a little bit money here and there, but it will keep making you money here and there, and that 1,000 just becomes a normal thing at that point. And that's the way it accumulates. That's how you compound the money in KDP. Alright guys, I hope that wasn't too deep for you. I kind of went a bit deep on that, but just to keep it simple, if you just copy the things in green here, the friction, just making it a bit more difficult for not so easy. Alright, start learning about your customer and just keep creating books for that customer. You can't go far wrong from them. Okay, like I said, I've got a whole step-by-step system below if you want to check it out. And thanks for watching. Subscribe for more videos on how to create KDP books that sell. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.